I don't know what you crazy.
Oh, you were doing this, okay?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
All right, well, whatever.
What do you think?
Sure. Why ruin a good thing?
It's just been a while since we recorded. We kind of forgot how to do this.
I forgot how to sit down.
That's right. That's right. That makes sense to me. What's happening, party people? Welcome to Punchboard Party. My name is Daniel. This is Father Greg, and we're on different sides. I don't know if we can handle this.
Sure.
Father Greg just forgot how to sit down.
I did not forget. He had his computer set up in my spot, so I took his spot, thinking that he was going to do something weird, and he was.
I'm not. I just found that over the last little bit, trying to edit videos, it was better to just kind of hide in the basement away from the boys. And so it's just kind of been here for a while. That's all. But party people, you're not here for that. You are here for the best board games we played in the month of May. So we're recording this kind of near the end of month of May.
Yeah.
So
there's 1 day left.
Yeah, okay.
I think we're safe. It's all good.
Right. But you're going to play some more games tonight.
Yeah, but I just put them in my June list.
Yes, all is well. So if you're not familiar with Punchboard Party, what we do here is we just play the games that we want to play. It was actually really nice. Matt Brown created this thread on Board Game Geek talking about his kind of top 5 rated, underrated board game YouTube channels. And then people started commenting in the thread kind of what theirs were. And Ray, a party person, he posted us.
Hey, nice
and he
job,
said a really
Ray.
nice thing. He said, for me, one of the channels that I've really been loving is Punchboard Party. I've been in the hobby for a while now, and I find I greatly enjoy people talking about games they love or don't love, and not always talking about the new hotness. These two guys are just genuine nice guys. And especially in this world we live in today, sometimes it's just nice to listen to people being genuinely kind and talking about things they love. So I'm not exactly sure.
Hold on. Have you been secretly watching some other channel called Punchboard Party? What is this nonsense? Secretly nice.
But what I really love about this that it pulls out is that we just play what we want to play, we want to play it, and we just talk about that. There are times where we put a little bit of pressure on ourselves to play this or that or the other thing, but by and large, we just play what we want to play, and we really enjoy it. So if you are familiar with the channel, you know that our Best of the Month video, we talk about every board game that we played in the month of May, and then we're going to tell you at the end of the video which board game was our favorite that we played.
Right.
So we're going to have a lot of games just coming right at you. We're going to talk a bit about each of them. And we want you, party people, to tell us the games that you played in the month of May and which you enjoyed the most. Because that's where we get a lot of ideas of what we might like to play next and that kind of thing. So this month, it's a weird month, man.
I get some old classics and some new weird stuff.
Very excited to share the new weird stuff with you, apparently.
All right, well, the first game that I played in the month of May, it's an old classic, man. We're taking you back to, I think it's one of the Spiel des Jahres of, 1978 or something.
No.
And that's Scotland Yard.
Wow, I saw you with a hat.
Yes.
I saw a picture. You had a hat, and you were happy.
Oh, man. I love Scotland Yard.
And then by the end of that game, I heard that you might not have been.
So I lost, but that's fine. The policeman captured Mr. X. The world is a safer place because Mr. X no longer walks among us. It was good. No, Scotland Yard is the original hidden movement game. And
one of your favorite genres.
Yeah, exactly. I really love hidden movement games, and so yeah, Mary and Dallas were just like, "Hey, why don't we play Scotland Yard?" I was like, "Yeah, that's great." And this game is still good. Yes, other people might be like, "Yo, Letters of Whitechapel's better," or Fury of Dracula, or Mind Management, or any number of other games, but there's still something just about the basic core of it. It's simple, but it's great.
The first game that I played in the month of May was Flamecraft. There was lots of buzz around Flamecraft. The Board Game Geek Awards gave it a bunch of stuff.
Yes, I have heard
it a
many
bunch of
great
accolades,
things about this game.
And so played it with Diego. He's had it for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
This is a standard, I'd say, family weight worker placement game. And there's not a whole lot going on that I would say is particularly new to the table, apart from the fact this game is all about providing you with abundance. So basically when you go to spaces, you play cards to these spaces, which add symbols to those spaces, which then when you gain resources from those spaces, add to the number of that resource that you gain when you go to that space. So the more the game is played, the more you get from going to the same places you went to previously. So it just kind of compounds. It kind of snowballs.
Right.
Which is a neat effect. It's a neat feeling. So I couldn't really put my finger on it. I don't think I could say I like this game. I don't think it's sort of, there's nothing about it that makes me go, oh, wow, how creative is that? Or, oh, wow, that's super unique. Right. Or, wow, nothing like that. But at the same time, the way that all the pieces come together does seem strong. It feels, that's all I can say.
Right.
Is it feels like a strong design. Not one that I'm particularly thrilled about, but I can see why people are loving it because just the way that everything comes together is strong. You can tell it's well designed, it's well balanced, all of that stuff. It's just fairly straightforward, ho-hum, nothing too exciting. So I wasn't thrilled with Flamecraft. I think it's fine to bring out, like to kind of end a game night or something. Right. But this was kind of our main course for the evening. I was like, oh.
Interesting, because I was on like a lot of like the best games of 2022 lists.
Yes, I know.
So yeah, that's interesting. Wow.
Yeah, it's squarely average.
Okay. Well, I played another game that was squarely average. Now, you don't like, Gone Shone Clever or Twice as Clever or Clever Cubed.
Right.
There's another game that's like in this series that like, for some reason, they didn't name Twice as Clever or like Clever 4 or they gave it a completely different name, but it's the exact same game. It's called Divi Dice.
Okay.
And it's like made by the same company.
Is it
the
Wolfgang Wars?
I don't even know if Wolfgang Wars.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not, but it's got like it looks the whole of the packaging, everything is identical. Like you look at this game, you're like, oh, that's so clever, right?
Right.
It's not as good, which I mean for you is even far worse because I like Gone Shone Clever.
Right.
But
I don't know. Sometimes I like games Ugly Cousins. Sometimes I just tend to like them better.
It's just it's a weird like Frankenstein of a game where like you pick a dice, but the dice that you could choose there's like so many limits on what dice you can pick.
Okay.
And so like half of the time you're just every like third or even every like 2 out of 3 turns you're like, well, this is not what I want to do, but like I guess I'll take this too. Like,
isn't that a great feeling?
Yeah. So Divi Dice, a weird game. I don't know why this game exists.
Wow.
It's or why it's not just called That's So Clever 4 or 3. I think it came out before 3, but like I don't know.
So another mediocre game. I'll just come out and say it. We played That Old Wallpaper.
What?
And so this is an AEG game, kind of in the same kind of point salad size box.
Is it a new game?
Yeah, relatively, like within the last year. I had like medium hopes. Like I knew it wasn't going to blow my mind, but I was like, AEG has kind of earned my respect.
They're solid, yeah.
I really like point salad. I really like there's just that size box, that kind of card game. I'm like, okay, they do all right by me. And so I was like, okay, That Old Wallpaper, let's try it out. Now, caveat. We played wrong. Okay, so part of the play being kind of meh for me is that we played it wrong, and I can imagine it being a little better the way it was played. Now, this was by no means bad. I actually, if someone were to say, hey, let's play That Wallpaper, I'm all in, because it's short enough, it's quick enough, it's not going to it's not going to suck my soul away. It's not like playing a mundane game for 2 hours, right? Mm-hmm. This is just quick and fun. So the cool thing about it, though, is that you have a hand of cards. You have 1 to 10 in your hand, and then you shuffle that up, and then you draw 5. And so you have 5 cards anywhere between 1 and 10. Then there's these wallpaper cards, and on the wallpaper, there's kind of a large pattern and a small pattern, and the patterns are kind of the same. Like it's like you can tell, oh, this is the big version of that pattern, and this is the little version of that pattern. And what you're trying to do is, by the end of the game, you're trying to have a certain number of pairs, but a pair is fully connected big version of the pattern and a fully connected small version of the pattern. So when you have those two things somewhere in your wallpaper, you're like, okay, I got a pair. Sweet. So that was a little weird to get your head around because it was very easy to start just thinking you were matching by making a bunch of the little ones.
Right.
Because they're the same and you're like, I'm making pairs.
Right.
But it's like, no. A pair is a big one and a little one. It's like, oh, okay. But the main mechanism, I'm going on. The main mechanism is simple. You have all these wallpaper cards kind of listed out in a train, and then in turn order, you just play, you pick a card to play, and you reveal the card that you played. And if you played a 1, you'll be farthest to the left, and you'll get the card farthest to the left. If I played a 3, I play further that way. So you're just trying to kind of hedge your bets. Like, you want that card.
Right, I see.
Okay, am I going to play a 4? But if they play 1, 2, 3, then I'm actually getting the last card.
Yep.
So you're trying to make it so that you're getting the card that you want by guessing what other people are going to play. Then what we didn't do is we didn't draw back up. You were supposed to draw back up into your hand. So we just kept on dwindling our hand throughout the round, which made for a really kind of like unsatisfying last turn.
Right.
Well, I hope I get what I want. But the way it's supposed to be played, you have full agency over what you're choosing to play down. So I can see some merit in it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, worth checking out.
Does it have like, it has like your old like grandmother's wallpaper aesthetic?
Yeah, it's just like 70s wallpaper.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I can get into that. Cool. The next game I played was Architects of the West Kingdom.
Oh!
So Father Dan sold this game to me.
Okay.
Because
I knew he was getting rid of it.
That's right, and I've got the other West Kingdoms, but I didn't have Architects, and so now I've got the full,
Nice.
trilogy, and it, just looks nice,
I bought a game from him last night.
All arrayed, yes, you did. All arrayed nicely on the shelf. But Father Dan's main problem with this, I think, I kind of agree, is like, I don't know if it's great at 2, and we play a lot of 2-player games. So I played a 3-player game. I think at 2, I feel like Architects ends a little bit too quickly. Like, I'm like, oh, I just wish I had, like, just 2 or 3 more turns,
Right.
So 3, I think, does solve that. Now, I played it with, like, some people who are, like, a little bit more AP prone. Okay. So, like, I was almost like, oh, this game's never ending. like this game's too long.
Problem.
That's right. Yes. This game's way too long. Whereas, like, when we and Dad play, it's over quickly. But it's a great game. I really enjoy it. Just this kind of what you're saying about Flamecraft, where, like, the more that you go into a game, like, the more your workers are benefiting you until someone decides, hey, that's enough, and they arrest all your guys.
Oh, okay.
And, like, haul them off.
That's a neat mechanism.
Yeah. So, really enjoy Architects of the West Kingdom.
A Punchboard Party favorite played. You still haven't played this. Strasbourg.
Right, I still have not, yes.
Played another game of Strasbourg, and you know what? It was great. It was a night where I had a few guys coming over, and I thought there was 5 guys coming over. Like, it was going to be 5 of us. And so that always kind of because I put out invitations, and then somebody might not reply right away.
Yep.
And then I'm like, okay, I reach out to somebody else. And then the original person gets back and is like, I can come. Right. And I'm like, great.
Sure.
Because I'm trying to aim for that, like 4 of us around the table. But when you get 5, so then it kind of makes me go downstairs. I'm looking, Strasbourg plays 5. And so I had it set up as people arrived, and we played a really excellent game of Strasbourg. So again, Strasbourg for me is just, yes, it has problems in that it's largely unpredictable. It's interactive to the point where people can just ruin your plans in pretty significant ways. One of the major ways to get points in this game is by these goal cards that you get at the beginning of the game. And you choose which one of them you're going to keep, and if you don't complete them, they're -3 points, this kind of thing. But they're largely dependent on winning very particular auctions. And so when you don't, and another person wins the auction that you need to win to get the piece that you need to start working towards your goal, it can be... Like, the end of the game was just like, one person got, like, their goals made, and then the rest of us were just like, 2 points...
Right.
3 points. One person was like, 18 points. I'm like, okay. All right. But it's a very enjoyable experience. If you like auctions, this is excellent. Yeah. It's just a series of auctions. So I'm still in love with this game.
How many times have you played this game now? Because this is a recent addition to your collection.
Yeah, well, last summer. So, or like fall. What? 5?
At least. That's pretty good.
Something like that.
Yeah, okay. You always, every single time I come over, this game is always talked about and never played.
Well, we almost got it played.
That's right.
At Marion Dallas's, but we will.
That's right. I played the Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
Wow.
Yeah. Father Dan had never played it.
Okay.
So he came over and, we just played a little 2-player game of Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
Probably what a nice addition to this video.
Yeah.
That's nice.
It's just Castles of Mad King Ludwig. I love it. It's just the theme of it, like... you're building this weird castle. It's going off in all kinds of directions.
Yes.
You know, your king's trying to sleep, but you put him next to the dungeon, so like he hears the prisoners wailing at night or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just
minus points.
Yeah, you can
too noisy.
Exactly. No, there's all these like noise penalties for being around your like activity rooms, and then you got like your nice little like quiet sitting room next to your outdoor garden with a meat locker on the side, and it's just like it's a great game. I love it.
Yeah, and again, a good auction. Mm-hmm. A really solid auction mechanism. No, that's great. Then with the one guy left, and then we played Vasco da Gama.
Whoa!
So I played Vasco da Gama twice this month. Once last night, and once at the beginning of the month. Mm-hmm. Oh man, these last two plays though, I gotta say, it kind of showed my weakness in this game. What I'm realizing about Vasco da Gama is that there is a lot of layers to think about when you're trying to employ the strategy in this game. Because you have the initial action selection where you're trying to order the actions that you take in the right way. Mm-hmm. Trying to get early actions made, but you're also kind of pushing your luck, because if you take a token that's too early in order, you might end up paying through the nose for it. So you got that you're thinking about, but then you also have to think about when you get to actually do the actions at the certain locations, so that you're doing them in the right order, so that you're not getting crew before you have to sail your ship. Mm-hmm. Yep. Like all this sort of stuff. Or not getting crew after you have to sail your ship and this kind of thing. And then just trying to keep track of all these things. I just get lost. And so there was multiple times where I'm just finding myself often in like a low rank in each of the worker placement areas. Mm-hmm. I'm going like second or third or fourth.
Right.
And so I'm not getting the best of anything when I go around. I started strong last night. And then things started blowing off.
Dan really went. So you have to take this gamble of like you take the early action pawns, but they could cost you, and you flip over a tile, and it's like, well, they're going to cost you an extra $3 now.
That's right.
And
that's exactly what happened.
Taking a bunch of really low action tiles, that hurts, because money's pretty tight in this game.
Pretty tight.
But yeah, no, Vasco da Gama is a good game. Yeah, I'm not great at it either, at least not compared to the other people that we're playing against.
Yes, that's right.
But it is a good game. It's enjoyable. It's an interesting kind of bidding on your worker placement order is an interesting kind of concept.
Yes.
So
that's right. A lot to keep track of in a given round, but it's good. It's good.
The next, I went over to Marion Dallas's, and we played a game of Cascadia.
Oh,
nice little classic.
Lovely.
A little. I made some pawns with some elks and some, it's weird. So you get these tiles, and each tile has an animal on it, but the animal doesn't necessarily correspond to like the terrain tile. So you can have like a moose, but like that's on like a complete water tile. Like it's just like a bunch of water, but it's got a moose on it. What's this moose doing? He's swimming around in this lake? What the? Like a fish that's in the middle of a prairie. It's just like one fish, just a poor salmon, like
washed up into the field,
swimming in a wheat field. But I love tile placement. I love kind of pattern games, like trying to create little patterns. I don't always do well at this game, but really enjoyed it. And then we pulled out another classic that I really love, which is Royals.
Oh, you got to play Royals. I've been thinking about Royals like last 2-3 weeks. I've been like Royals hungry.
Yeah. Another game of Royals, and love it.
How did you do?
Yeah, we did fine. Yeah.
Did you win?
Yes, I think so. Yep.
Nice.
I think I beat Diego.
Nice.
And,
killed him.
I think so. Who did win that game? No, I didn't. Who beat me? Dallas won. Actually, I lost. Never mind. Apparently, I did horrible, and I wiped it out of my memory. I had good feeling. I think at one point in the game, I was winning, and that quickly went away. So no, I did horrible. Yeah. Wow, really bad, actually.
Okay, so went over to Dave's and played a nice game of Forenzi. So Forenzi was on my need to give a second chance list. And Dave was aware of that, so he had it set up and ready to go. And so Forenzi is this tower building game where essentially you have these different colored tower pieces that are on this card river. And so there's cards that are different cards, and they have positive effects or negative effects. And then you have tower pieces randomly distributed onto the cards. And so on your turn, you draft a card with tower pieces. Mm-hmm. So you need the tower pieces to build certain numbers of colored towers to gain victory points. Mm-hmm. But then you also might want the card for its special benefit or bonus. Mm-hmm. Or you might really want the pieces and you don't want the card because it's minus points. So that's a neat little tension going on.
Right.
There. And the last time I played this, I played just with Sarah. It was just 2-player, and it felt a little flat. It didn't feel too interactive. There was 3 of us playing, perfectly interactive. All that was fine. I'm still struggling with this game. I'm still struggling enjoying the game. And so what I think I struggled with the most was that balancing between accumulating the pieces that I needed to work on the towers I wanted to work on, and then being messed with while I was trying to do that task. Right. Which is fine. A lot of people would like that sort of thing. I don't mind take that in games. It's just there's a certain kind of game where I don't want that. And this is that certain kind of game that I don't want to be messed with.
Right.
Because it takes a lot of effort.
That's right.
It takes a lot of effort to collect the right pieces because of the way that you have to... Because it has the mechanism, right, where you have to put building pieces onto the cards that precede the card you want to draft. So you're doing all this juggling of spending building pieces to get the right building pieces that you want, and then you got it in the bag, and you're just waiting for one more, and then someone just says, you lose the top 2 pieces of that tower. And I didn't like that the first time I played it, but the first time I played it, we didn't play with the mean cards. So the mean cards kind of add a dimension. But just the base rules are that if you can't add to a tower, you have to deconstruct your tower and lose half of the pieces of that tower rounded up. So if you get yourself in a position where you don't have any pieces of that color in your reserve, and there are pieces of that color out there, but they get snagged before your turn,
wow.
That's just not a nice feeling.
Yeah.
Not a nice feeling. So, again, the game is well designed. This is more of a, this is a good game. And there are tons of people that will like it. And you might be very much one of those people. But if you have kind of thin skin when it comes to working hard to accomplish a task, and then kind of things out of your control just kind of collapse it, you might not want to play this game.
Yeah, there's an interesting kind of balance between the take that in the game and the degree of planning and strategic making necessary to game.
There could be a graph.
That's right. It's if one's too high and the other one's you need less take that the more planning a game requires. I hear that. Yeah, cool. I do want to play Frenzy though.
Yeah, I think it's worth playing.
I'd like to play. Then I played The Search for Planet X again.
Oh,
nice deduction game with Diego and Dallas. And I think this game, I did win. Yes, I did. That's true. So yes,
verified. Win verified.
I crushed him at this one, which was good. So because the last time I played, I did terrible.
You redeemed yourself.
Yeah, a big part is finding one thing that you know for sure, early on. If I know a comet's in this spot, great. Then it's just figure out what the relation of everything else is. Oh, no asteroids can be next to a comet. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, that means, this and that. Oh, a gas cloud has to be adjacent to at least one comet. Oh, okay, well, that gives me information, Yeah. So, yeah, the more that you can, build off of, a single known and then, have lots of different clues that, sort of branch off of that really helps. But I did get a little bit lucky, perhaps. But yeah, love Search for Planet X.
So, a nice little card game that I've been playing quite a bit. And we've played together too. Enchanted Plumes. So I've been really enjoying Enchanted Plumes. Ran across a copy of it at a local bookstore. I had heard Z Garcia talk about it. He really liked it. This is definitely kind of an under-the-radar little small card game, but really excellent. Father Greg thinks it's garbage, but this is an amazing, amazing little card game. Right. Because it's few rules, but makes for a really crunchy experience.
It does.
Where basically you have 10 different colors of peacock feathers. And they're numbered 0 to 9 or whatever. And in certain player counts, you take out certain numbers of the high cards or whatever the case may be. But basically, on your turn, you're going to play 1 or 2 cards and you're going to play them to plumes that you're playing in front of you. So you're either going to be working on one big plume maybe, or maybe a couple of smaller plumes. But basically, the top row of all of your plumes at the end of the game are going to be minus points to the value that are on those cards. Mm-hmm. And then all the other cards in the plume are going to be positive points.
And it's like a reverse pyramid.
Yes.
So
like a peacock plume.
That's right. Each level gets smaller and smaller as it goes along.
So if you started a plume and you made 5 cards on top, then you're going to do 4 the next row down. But then those top 5 cards, they're going to be minus points. Mm-hmm. The other neat thing is that the colors of the plume feathers that you use in the top row, you then can only use those colors in the next row down. Mm-hmm. Then you can only use those colors in the next row down.
That's right.
And so on and so forth. And so it is a delightfully crunchy puzzle to try and get low numbers of a certain color and get high numbers of that same color and get them in the same plume in the right order and all that stuff.
Right.
Delightful.
For the record, I do not hate this game. I just hate one rule in it. That's right. And that's that games that have a random ending condition. So this, you just shuffle a card into a deck, and whenever that card is drawn, the game ends.
Yeah, it's in the last 7 cards.
It's in the last 7, but it's just like it's shuffled into this deck. You don't know where it is. Yeah. There's no way to know. There's no way to look ahead and see. That's it's right. Just in the deck. But the game ends immediately.
Yes.
So not give everyone the same amount of turns. Not maybe finish out what you're doing. No, it's just immediately.
Yes.
So you won by 8 points or something, but in the next round I was going to get 10 points.
Yeah, so Father Greg would have won if he had gotten the same number of turns.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting.
Interesting choice.
An interesting, choice and mechanic there.
Anyway, Enchanted Plumes, definitely worth it.
Cool. Next up, I had another priest friend over who I'm kind of slowly introducing into the hobby of board games, and so
sounds like he's going down a dark path.
Yeah, really dark path. It's like getting someone hooked on cocaine. It's just very much the same.
Exactly the same thing. Goodness gracious!
But we played 2 games. One of which you hate, which is Barren Park. Lovely
We've
game.
We've talked about this.
Barren Park is just great. So good. I forgot every reason why I love that game.
I was squarely outvoted in terms of that list.
Yes.
People agreed with you far more.
And I appreciate you for that, party people. Thank you very, very much for telling this guy how wrong he is.
That's great.
And then we played a game of Hanamikoji, which I had not played in a long time. But it's
so Colorado must have...
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
For sure. I was like, I need to play Hanamikoji. And it was the right opportunity. It went over really well.
When I picked up Enchanted Plumes, I almost picked up Hanamikoji at the same time. But then I was like, he has it. He can bring it.
I will. It's an easy game. We can play it in 10 minutes.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Awesome. So next, we played an amazing, astounding, super bombastic game.
What did we do? What game is this?
We played Master Fox.
Oh, yeah. That's the one.
I picked up Master Fox in a liquidation store thinking that it was Outfoxed. There's this children's game.
Yes, I know it.
Outfoxed that gets really great reviews.
Yeah.
And so I saw Master Fox and I was like, oh, I just scooped it up. I was like, great deal, $5, sweet. And then I got home and I was like, oh, that's why this is $5.
That's a steal for $5. I gotta say, wow.
So here's the thing. Then my expectations were super low. But after playing Master Fox, I'm all right with it,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of into Master Fox. So what goes down is just in the game box, you put a bunch of wooden pieces that are like cheese, fish, cows, pigs,
animals, foods,
this kind of thing. And you're playing a fox that's trying to become the next Master Fox thief dude. And so you wear this fox mask that has no eye holes.
That's right, can't see.
And you look like a goof. And then with one hand, you reach in and you're looking for certain pieces. So you lay out 3 cards, and those cards are going to tell you which of the pieces are going to get you points. And so then you all have your eyes closed. You're going in with one hand at the same time. Once someone picks at least 3 of these pieces, they can say stop. And then everyone looks at what they've collected. And if you've collected the wrong things, or minus points. If you collect the right things, or positive points. If you collect more than 4 things, you're going to minus points for the extra you collected. Neat!
Yeah.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Not bad. Right. Great for a kid's game, except for the fact that adults will slaughter children.
I think at a certain age.
At a certain age.
Yeah.
At the age that my kids are at, I can beat them every time, so they get a little discouraged. And so I didn't love that about it. But Father Greg just straight up chop my son's hand off.
No, so that is not true.
All I hear was like, what happened? Father Greg was too rough.
When you can't see and you're racing with your hand into a pile, you might bump other people.
You weren't just bumping. You were intentionally sabotaging by slapping.
I was trying to sabotage you.
Yes,
you were winning, but it was not successful.
Yeah, so I had a lot of fun with Master Fox.
That's right.
I think it's
It's right. There's a good concept behind it. Maybe something more with it could be done. But yeah, no, it's fun. Cool. The next game I played was a game that. Can't believe I've only now just played. Like, this is the first time I've played it, and that is Lost Cities.
What?
Yeah.
You had never played Lost Cities?
I've never played Lost Cities before.
Wow.
And, went over to Mary Dallas's house, and Mom was putting the kids to bed, and so we put out a game of Lost Cities. And, yeah, it's a good game.
It's a solid game, man.
Enjoy Lost Cities. Just playing kind of cards to like it's kind of like, I don't know, like Colorado or like a little bit like that. You're just like, placing different cards in different kind of columns vying to control the most of, that number. And this idea that like, I think you lose 20 points or 10 points as soon as you go on an expedition. Yeah. So you have to like try and make sure you've got at least that many points in your expedition, in your like little column that you've built.
And when you start an expedition, you can, instead of playing numbered cards, you can play these handshake cards, and they make the loss worse.
That's right. They like double your scores or triple your scores. But then they're going to
make the positive better.
That's right.
Yes.
So, really
the neat thing about this game, too, is that you're playing cards low to high, and it's a shared deck.
That's right.
And in order to get new cards into your hand, you have to discard cards. Mm-hmm. And so people are seeing what you're doing, and they have the high card of a particular color that you're working hard at.
That's right.
But they don't have any more room in their hand to get the high card of their color that they want, so they kind of have to make the choice. Are they going to stiff you, or are they going to just do it and get ahead themselves? Really neat concept.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. So, sorry it took me this long to get Lost Cities played.
Hey, man, it's fine. You're home now.
That's right.
My child.
It's weird.
So next, we played another one. I was trying to get these liquidation games played to see if they were any good. This one I was confident that it was going to be good. Because I heard some good things from Brothers Murph.
Right.
It's on some people's hidden gem lists.
Okay.
This is Aquasu.
Aquasu, yeah, man.
What did you think of Aquasu?
The production value for this game is like through the roof. Like, this is like... You put out this board, you have to, like, it takes like setup, like you have to put these rails and all these things that slide onto them. It's quite the process, but it's a slick game.
Yes,
it's fun. It's pretty light. It's light. It's easy breezy. It's like a 2 maybe on a weight scale,
but still quite strategic. Like the interaction between the players, like the better player is going to win.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. There's a little bit of luck involved in the card draw or whatever. But
yeah, no.
Yeah, so simply on your turn, you're going to draw four cards, or you're going to place a gem on these, like, on this cave wall underneath the waterfall. Where there's this giant lizard creature.
That's right.
Parting the waters for some reason. Kind of Avatar-type characters. Like,
right,
that's kind of what they look like. No, so that's just area majority. Like, the most of your gem colors in a particular row.
Or column.
You're going to get points for... Either points for row or bonuses points for column, bonuses for row. Yeah, just a nice little card play. I love a game where I'm holding cards in my hand and trying to get... And basically, you can place in columns that are further down the way, but you have to play more cards of that color to place those gems. So you can kind of like secure some spots in the column later down.
And the rows will stay like, as the waterfall kind of washes away some old things. But if you've played 5 rows in advance, you've kind of got like 5 turns worth of your gems staying in this waterfall
and
area.
The bonuses. Yeah,
that's right.
Neat. I don't know if we're doing it any justice, but it's a neat
It's a fascinating little game, for sure. Then I played a game of My Management. So got this one back to the table. So
hidden movement. movement.
That's right. So yeah, I think actually we've actually played 2 games of this month.
Okay.
Between Mary and Dallas, so kind of following through like the sort of like legacy-ish, not really legacy, but campaign style kind of structure of this game. So yeah, really enjoying it. Looking forward to I think we went 1-1, so kind of each side 1-1, and yeah, looking forward to playing this again.
That's awesome.
See some more of the stuff.
Got my number 2 board game of all time back to the table. It's A Wonderful World, baby.
Ooh, I haven't played that one in a little while.
Yeah, so just it just solidified its place as just one of the best games ever. And I was just like, why haven't I played for whatever reason, when I would see it on the shelf, I'd be like, oh, that'd be great to play, but I haven't refreshed the rules, so I'll just leave it be. There's nothing to refresh.
Right.
This is a very simple rule set. It feels a little complicated because there's 3 different phases that work a little differently. But other than that, simple. And the magic of this game, at least for me last night, the magic that came to the surface was the second phase of the game. So you do a regular drafting round. You then have this mitt full of cards that you then get to decide what you're going to construct as the game goes on, which means adding a certain color cube to the card, or to discard the card to gain a cube of a certain color that you can then add to cards.
Yep.
For whatever reason, that choice is just so juicy for me, where you always feel like you're just riding the end of a lightning bolt, where you're like, I'm building too many cards. I got too many constructions out here. I'm never going to make it. And just like you're like, I should just cash this in for resources, but no, man, I'm going to build it. You're just hoping that it'll turn out.
Right.
Oh.
It is. It's a lovely game.
Really cool.
Dare I say a wonderful game.
I dare you to say it's a wonderful game. I double dog dare you.
Cool. Next up, I played another old classic, and that is Alhambra. Played, nice. I love tile laying, like say, just kind of an auction, another kind of like sort of auction, not really auction, but you have to gain money and then spend them on these kind of market of tiles.
And there's like a weird way that the currency works, right? Where you can get money back if you do a certain...
No, so if you pay the exact cost, you get to like take another turn. But if you overspend, you don't get any change. So like sometimes you're like seeing a tile and it's like it costs 6 blue and you've got 8 blue. But you're like, do I want to buy that? Like, I need that tile, but do I want to just spend 2 extra blue and, it's kind of worthless? Or like, but if I can make like, and you can kind of chain those together. So if you spend like 5 orange and you get the exact number, then you can buy a green tile for another 7 and then buy the blue 8 tile for 8. And like, you can kind of set it up. But yeah, neat little kind of pattern, designing some walls. Like each tile has walls and you have to make sure, you can always get back to the center of town and stuff like that. And area majorities, like trying to get the most reds, the most yellows, the most green buildings, whatever. So yeah, lovely little game.
Sweet. After we played This Wonderful World, we played some Enchanted Plumes. And then Pierce was like, okay, we'll only play Enchanted Plumes if you promise that we can play this game. And he brought along Sabotage.
What?
Sabotage!
Is that like a tea or something? Oh my gosh.
It's bubble tea.
Okay.
So this is your dime a dozen take that card game, where in this case you have different tea ingredients, like you have different like fruits and flavors and toppings and boba and whatever else, and green tea, black tea, this kind of thing. And you're just racing to make 5 teas. Is what you're doing, and 5 drinks. And so you're just trying to put the 3 ingredients, and there's 2 types of drinks you can make, and the base of a certain drink will only allow you to use these kind of ingredients, and the other one will only allow you to use those kind of ingredients. So you got to pay attention a little bit about that. But by and large, you're just playing cards down, and then you're playing special cards that just blow up people's hands. Your milk went sour. And so all the drinks that you have with milk in it you have to discard the milk card. And so now you're like, ugh, and just like get rid of random ingredients from people's drinks.
Right.
Just a piece of garbage.
Oh, it's great.
It's great for what it is.
That's right.
Like these games have a place. Bears versus babies, exploding kittens.
That's right,
yeah. They all have a place. It's just it doesn't matter which one of them it is. So that's why I'm just kind of like, you know what you're getting when you buy these kind of games. I hope, and so if that's what you want, that's what you get. It's fine.
Next game I played was Century Spice Road.
Wow!
You know, just a great game. It's just the original.
A nice again. When you want to draft a card, you got to put cubes in to
That's right, and just like it's just this idea of like I think at one point I thought I had this game like really like case. Like I was like, oh okay, I got it. You're just looking at each card and just like evaluating how much it's going to give you because some cards like give you like an equivalent of like 2 promotions up. Some give you like a benefit of like 4. Like they just give you a brown cube right away or something. It's like that's 4, like up the chain. But the idea is that when there's a trading card, you can do it as many times as possible. And that's where like you can take a card that's maybe not that great, but if you can do it like 3 times on your turn, like if it's turned 2 yellow into 2 green, it's like, oh, that's an okay card. But if you can do that 3 times and you got 6 green, you're off to the races. So that idea of kind of like trying to like hold and trying to like maximize each card's usage.
Get a nice chain going.
It's really nice. Yeah.
No, love this game. I haven't played it in a long time though. But yeah, I'll get that back to the table because it's way cool. The last game I have to talk about this month is Navigador. And so we played Navigador last night.
Did we ever?
And I got no colonies. I just stayed away from colonies the whole game. And I got what? 3rd place out of 4.
That's not bad.
And I was right in the pack too.
That's right. Yeah. It was a close game.
Yeah. So I was just like, I'm loving playing these classic Euro games and just kind of going a little bit offside. Really, like, if I had dabbled in colonies, I probably would have eked out another place. I don't know if I would have won because you had a nice spread on everything.
Right.
And that's really the thing about the game is that you have all these different facets. So you have ships and you have churches, shipyards and churches and colonies and basically all those different things are going to get you points and you're going to be able to increase the number of points they get you. So the privilege action allows you to get these tiles that you then place on your board and they get you money right away, but then they're also going to make whatever aspect of the game you're working on and that tile corresponds to more valuable. And I kind of made the mistake of just kind of focusing on like 2 of them and going really big on 2 of them, which is kind of what you want to do, but you also want to kind of... I didn't go medium on any of the others.
Right.
And so I should have taken some time to kind of detour and pick up a little bit of this and a little bit of that just to round out my game. Right. So it is a game that you do get benefited for doing everything, but you still need to focus on a couple of things.
Yeah. This was a fascinating month for me because I played like just a lot of like old classics and stuff that I've never played before. Yes. Like Lost Cities and Scotland Yard and Alhambra.
Nice.
And Navigador is a game that I've wanted to play forever.
Yes.
Like, I love Matt Gertz, but that being said, like, I love one of his games. I love Concordia. It's the only Matt Gertz game I've ever played. But, like, I love Concordia. So, yeah, so I played a game called Clans of Caledonia, and in, like, a board game feed, he had kind of named, like, his influences, like, the things that kind of inspired the creation of the game. And there's a market in Clans of Caledonia, and he said that was taken from Navigador. And I was like, oh. Well, now I really need to play Navigador. And every time I would go, like, I would see this game, like, on, like, a shelf somewhere, and, like, it's almost like people were, like, giving this thing away. Okay. And, like, but it was just, like, I just could never, ever get my chance to play it. Okay. And finally it happened. I love this game. Yeah,
it's good.
It's solid. So yeah, so my last 2 games, I guess. The first one is kind of my solo game of the month, but this one I played 4 times this month.
Okay.
And that's a new game that I got, Kickstarter, Legacy of You.
Wow, Legacy of You.
This game is just really interesting. I don't know. I love the fact that this is like just a solo only game. That there's no... It's not like you have to learn a rule set and then figure out what's different to play it solo. It's just like, there's one rule set. It's for solo mode. That's all it has.
That's right.
And yeah, it's just an interesting kind of game where basically you have 7... There's 2 decks of cards. A victory deck and a defeat deck. And so if you lose a game, you take a card from the defeat deck and it gives you like a bonus next game. It's like, okay, we'll make the next game a little bit easier for you. And so then... you win the next game, and then you flip over the victory card, and it makes the game more difficult for you. And so you're just kind of playing until you either win 7 games or lose 7 games. That kind of is what triggers sort of the end of the game. So I'm currently at 2-2. But the game like even says in the rulebook, it's like sometimes these games give you like an introductory scenario. Like the first scenario is kind of easy so that you can kind of like learn the rules. We don't do that. So expect to lose like your first 2 games of this. And I did. I lost the first 2 hard. The game says like an hour on the box. I was like, this game doesn't take an hour. Right. This game, I was like, I lost in 15 minutes. This is really short. And when you win, it takes an hour. I'll put it that way.
Okay, sure.
So the last 2 games took a little bit longer, but really enjoying this one. I'm anxious to see where it fits for me. In kind of that. But yeah, it's a really interesting concept. I really like the kind of overall feel of it. Nice and tight.
I love that art style, man.
Mm-hmm. And then the last game I played was Boone Lake.
Boone Lake!
Heavy Alexander Pfister game with Dan. We had played it once, or Father Dan played it once a little while ago, but so kind of had to like relearn it a little bit. Yeah. But just a great. I love Alexander Pfister. Just the kind of like. It's not a rondelle, but you're like moving around a circular kind of track.
Okay.
I know Ryan Gallagher, one of our party people.
Yes.
He doesn't like this. He loves games that have a fixed number of turns.
Okay.
Where you're told there's 14 turns, plan out, what you're going to do. Whereas Boone Lake, it's entirely dependent upon how fast you go down the river. Yeah. So if I'm, going slow, but all of a sudden you're speeding ahead, like you're going to bring the game to an end quicker. And the like tiles that are further down the row, the little bonuses you get are better. So there's like an advantage to kind of going faster to kind of like get those bonuses. But you might be like, I just want to build a little bit more. So I want to kind of go slower because I don't really want the game to end right away. Right. Just love that little tension. Yeah.
That's lots of fun.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, party people. Those are all the board games that we played in the month of May. And you let us know what you've played. And right now we are going to say what our favorite board game that we played this month is. I'm going this month with It's a Wonderful World. It just re-emerged in my life. We played it back-to-back too. Because it's a fairly quick playing game. Mm-hmm. So it was just this idea of like, wow, I forgot how good this was.
Right.
And then Pierce was like, let's do it again. I was like, yes, let's do it again. Mm-hmm. So we did it again. And so It's a Wonderful World ranks as the best board game I played this month.
Nice. For me, it might have to be Navigador.
There it is.
Just because of, I think, how much I anticipated and like wanted to play this game for so long. Yes. And like now I can be like, I finally played Navigador.
It was your holy grail.
That's right. It was. For sure. No, this was like legitimately. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Only the penitent man shall pass. Only the penitent man shall pass. All right, party people. Once again, let us know in the comments down below what games you've been playing this month, what you've enjoyed the most. And please, if you enjoyed this video, please like the video, share the video, do all the YouTube-y stuff. And until next time, party people,
have the best day.